In his wisdom, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, created a ministry for skills audit and development. And one of the greatest aspects of this ministry is not about counting how many people are not trained, but actually being able to cement our foundation for NDS1 and Vision 2030. As it is, and as I mentioned in our speech, we are in the 2Ps era, an era where you're either going to have a payslip or a product. So we're going to see more jobs created with opportunities which are coming from our natural endowments across all the 10 provinces. Having said that, it's then critical to ensure that in a devolved manner, every province has got significant skill sets that can be able to complement the endowments that they have. Not only that, the current civil service that we had, we've had a large brain drain over the times that we're going through economic hardships and the punitive sanctions. So it's also important for us now to focus on the civil service that we have, the public service area, to ensure that they too can also match what is happening within the private sector. We've recently come out of SADC, where we're very proud that as Zimbabwe, we developed our own infrastructure with our own resources, and we had great commendations from our colleagues within the region. And what is important now for this ministry is for them to get enough support. So the strategy which they're gathered here to do today should be able to see us enter into a new era where we are not only tracking people who are not trained, but now having significant focus on which key areas. So if a province is endowed with mining opportunities, we need to see more skills being done there. And if a province is endowed with farming opportunities, we need to see that. We also spoke into the aspect of research and development. We've gone out of the era where we are congratulating ourselves for being kings of anthills. So yes, we've innovated, we're creating wines, we're creating value initiation to our natural fruits and other endowments, but it's time for us to also create the next starlings of tomorrow. It's time for us to create new gadgets. It's time for us to be able to also come up with new innovations that can be adopted around globally. So as it is, we are so happy that even the religious fraternity, the academia, and private sector industry, they've all gathered here today together with government to say, how do we put our heads together? You remember long back, you'd see engineers with chains and oils in First Street, and we had trade testing and everything else that we'd abandoned. It's time for Zimbabwe to use its great wisdom of what we've learned since independence to go back on top in terms of the skill sets which will lead to industrial revolution. Definitely, provinces which are going to be slacking behind will be noticed. His Excellency has directed Presidential Affairs and Devolution Minister to actually drive the agenda of having a dashboard. So we're going to see that we're going to have a provincial GDP dashboard, which will actually be tracking. So gone are the days where other provinces are not productive and are relying on other provinces to produce their food, to produce jobs, and etc. We want economic development to start at the grassroots, and provincial economies are at the center of what we are trying to develop. And running with the basis of the political manifesto of the ruling party ZANU-PF, provincial economies is the future of Zimbabwe. So where we are also going to be tracking their provincial poverty indexes, that as they create more jobs, we want to see a decline in terms of their poverty stats. But we also want to see those provinces be able to attract investors based on the opportunities that they have. So we are going to be announcing them very soon, but we are working flat out that every province should be tracked with a provincial GDP, where what we see and what's on the ground should match the stats which are coming out.